Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's a perfect game for Zoom. You can access the online game by visiting WWBM.com. That stands for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The game Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is fun whether you're online playing with friends and family or students on Zoom, or whether you're just playing on your own. Take a good close look at the top of the screen and you'll see the three famous lifelines: the 50-50, poll the audience, and phone a friend. The 50-50 lifeline simply removes half the choices. This leaves players with much better odds if they have no idea but still want to hazard a guess. The 50-50 lifeline could be very helpful if a contestant is debating between two answers. With luck, the 50-50 will remove one of those answers, leaving what should be the correct choice. The next lifeline is Ask the Audience, sometimes called Poll the Audience. This effect allows every audience member to input their guess. Then a percentage displaying how many members voted for each answer choice is provided to the contestant. Large percentages typically indicate a correct response, but there have been times where the majority of the audience have missed a question. Ask the Audience works better earlier in the game with easier questions, as once the difficulty scales too high, they're less likely to provide high statistics for the correct answer. And the third and last lifeline is Phone a Friend. Phone a Friend allows a contestant to make a 30-second phone call to one of a few pre-selected buddies who can hopefully provide insight towards the correct question. In the online version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, these three lifelines are not necessarily that interactive. Once we get playing the game, you'll see what I mean. As you can see here, there's 15 questions, so if you answer 15 questions correctly, you win the $1 million. The fifth question is for $1,000, and if you answer that question correctly, you're guaranteed at least $1,000. And then the 10th question is worth $32,000. If you answer the 10th question correctly, you're guaranteed at least $32,000. For example, if you get the 14th question wrong, your winnings fall all the way back down to $32,000. Let's get playing and take a look at our first question. For $100, people who stay calm under pressure are said to have what flowing through their veins? Ice water, lava, blue blood, or Heinz ketchup? They are said to have ice water flowing through their veins. Okay, so we got the $100 question correct. For $200, according to a popular phrase, a person who is difficult to trick or fool wasn't born how? Yesterday, on the 4th of July, to be wild, or underwater? I would say that type of person wasn't born yesterday. Good, we got the $200 question correct. Third question for $300. Which of these items typically forms the outer boundary of a boxing ring? Pillows, ropes, tires, or barbed wire? Pillows would work pretty good. The audience wouldn't be able to see past the tires too well, and barbed wire would cut the fighters up. Everybody knows the answer is ropes. So we've got the $300 question correct. The fourth question for $500. Which of these persons is most likely to use a bellows? Tailor, pharmacist, blacksmith, or farmer? I know a bellows is something that blows air into fire. And since blacksmiths work with fire, I'll go with blacksmith. Good, we got the $500 question correct. We've reached the first milestone, the fifth question for $1,000. If we get this correct, we get to keep the $1,000. Which of these products is normally used as a fabric softener? Pine Sol, Charmin, Raid, or Downy? Pine Sol is used for cleaning. Charmin's a toilet paper, and Raid kills bugs, and Downy is a fabric softener, so I'll go with Downy. I get to go home with at least $1,000. Question number 6 for $2,000. How many letters represent all the modern Roman numerals? 8, 5, 6, or 7? I'm not certain on this, and I don't want to risk getting it wrong. Since I have 3 lifelines, I'm going to use one of them. I want to save the 50-50 and phone a friend for later, so I'm going to ask the audience. The audience overwhelmingly selected D. So I'll trust the audience and go with D, 7 numerals. Thanks to the audience, we got the $2,000 question correct. Question number 7 for $4,000. The landmark Supreme Court case Brown versus Board of Education concerned what issue? Teaching of evolution, affirmative action, school prayer, or school desegregation? I'm not certain of this one, so I'm going to use one of my existing lifelines. I think I'll use phone a friend. The overwhelming majority of friends that were called for this particular answer chose D, school desegregation, so I'll go with D. Thanks to the second lifeline, we got the $4,000 question correct. Question number 8 for $8,000. First run in 1897, what is America's oldest regularly contested marathon? Chicago Marathon, New York City Marathon, Boston Marathon, Los Angeles Marathon. I don't know for sure, but I'm not willing to risk my last lifeline. I have a pretty good feeling that it's the Boston Marathon since it's so popular. I'll go with C, Boston Marathon. Well, I had a feeling it was the Boston Marathon, but that was a lucky guess. Question number 9 for $16,000. The state of Montana derives its name from a Latin word meaning what? Vast, snowy, northern, or mountainous? I'm not going to use my last lifeline for this, but Montana and mountains or mountainous, they sound awfully similar, so I'll go with mountainous. This next question, question number 10, is a milestone. It's for $32,000. If I get it right, the least amount of money that I can leave with today is $32,000. Who is the first U.S. president to hold an MBA degree? Lyndon Johnson, George W. Bush, Warren Harding, or Gerald Ford? I don't know this answer, but my gut feeling tells me it's either George W. Bush or Gerald Ford. I'm going to use my last lifeline, the 50-50. Oh, they've left me with the two that I narrowed it down to, George W. Bush and Gerald Ford. This is just a guess. I'm going to go with Gerald Ford. Oh, the game is over, and I dropped down from $32,000 to $1,000. There is a silver lining, though. More people are going to be motivated to try to beat $1,000. There's lots of ways to play. Play individually, play in groups. Many students prefer teams. Play for points, play for extra credit, play for fun. And most of all, play and learn.